Okay, it says we are live. I'd love for you to stick a hello in the chat box. It's Nicola here from Conscious Crypto Traders, and we have got a fantastic show for you today. We are live, but we haven't quite started yet. It's not quite 1:30. I always like to start right on time, but I thought I would just get on board early today. And oops, I don't have my chart in front of me, and just say hi. Hello, Ras. It's great to see you here. Happy holidays to you too. Teresa is not with me today. Teresa is on a long-deserved holiday at the beach. So it's just me today. But as I said, it is a great show today. We are looking at whether or not the full moon on Friday is going to save our bacon. So I'm going to do technical analysis on Bitcoin, Ethereum. If you've got other coins you want me to take a look at, please put that in the chat box. The first thing to do, though, would be to like the video, like the live stream. Let YouTube know that this is of value to you so that it can push this content out to more. Oh, hi, Daniel. Great to see you here as well today. We've got a couple of ninjas with us. And before I get into the TA, I just want to talk to you about crypto ninjas, because if you're not with us, price is doubling next year. So we've got till the end of the year to get in at the really low price. Crypto Ninjas is a platform where you're going to learn all the ins and outs of beginners to advanced trading strategies and learning how to do charting, technical analysis, as well as put your portfolio together, learn about altcoins and so on. But we also, which is very different from anything else out there, we also have 4 times a week on Zoom that we get together and we have a great old time. Kelly, talk to them about how great Ninjas is, and Daniel there in the chat, how valuable coming together live on Zoom is each week to really look at your portfolio, look at your strategies, look at what you're doing. So Crypto Ninjas is made up of 3 parts: the very extensive training on technical analysis and trading. And this is the trading platform that you would be logging into, and you can see that we've got how to set yourself up for success, how to learn how to chart, and underneath you've got all those videos on all of that. You're going to be learning about bullish and bearish divergences, hidden divergences, learn to work with the Fibonacci, learn how to spot trade, all of the different strategies that you can trade, and then you pick one. So that's number 1. It's a training portal. It's going up, it's doubling in price because I have put so much effort into new videos in here that it is way more than what we're putting the new price up to anyway. Those of you in Ninjas, it's going to stay the same for you. You're grandfathered in. So if you get into Ninjas before the end of the new year, you're grandfathered in to half price. The other part of the training, as I said, is the getting together on Zoom 4 times a month. And one of those is focusing on mindset. And then we have the daily cheeky buy orders down here. You can come into Discord and you can see all of this. This stuff here is all free, so you can be part of our free community. But down here in Discord, we've got buy orders for Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, ADA, EOS, Sol, Link, Shiba Inu, some altcoins, DeFi. We're watching Crow, Nexo, Bit, and KuCoin at the moment. Coin research we do in here, moon planet dates and so on. We're looking at gaming coins and ICO opportunities now. So this is an opportunity to be part of a community where you get early notification of opportunities to increase your portfolio, increase your profit, and trade to get yourself a replacement income. So the link for that is in the chat and it's in the description below. So, okay, so some of you have been with us for a while. I want you to put in the chat, what do you see immediately on the 4-hour for Bitcoin? What is the very, very first thing that you see? I'd love to see, what are your comments in the chat? You've been following us enough now to know the answer is going to be support levels. We have a very clear support level around 46,460, somewhere around there, right? Did you all see that? We have had a bit of a dump. We have a support level. The next thing that we see is a descending channel here. Sorry, a descending line. So I'm just doing the short term, right? Where this descending line. Now, this is a bearish pattern, unfortunately. And the target is around about here. Remember, bearish patterns for Bitcoin don't always play out, and often they get invalidated. So it is possible that between now and full moon, we could go down to 40,994. And hello, where is that bringing us to? Goosebumps up my arms. Can anybody see it? Put it in the chat. Yeah, reverse Bart Simpson is possible, Kelly. That is possible. If we go down, we're going to create a double bottom. Look, this wick here, right there. If we come back down here and we create a double bottom, my sense of it is, because we're so close to full moon, and full moon we usually get a pump. I'm going to go over that in a minute. I think that there could be a tremendous amount of buying, and we might jump right out of this pattern and right out of this dump and head up rather rapidly. So that's the bearish scenario, right? We have a bearish pattern here. And we could be breaking to the downside. The peak of the pattern is on the 19th of December, which is, guess what? That's full moon, right? And a full moon, we often see the bottom, the absolute bottom of the market before it turns around. So that's number one. Number two, if we break to the upside, because these patterns mostly 80% of the time break down, 20% of the time they break up. If we break up, and we've got some divergences happening to suggest we're heading bullish, then that's possible that we could create, as Kelly said, a Bart Simpson, because whenever we have these elongated sideways action, especially when it starts getting tighter, see how we're going tighter, we're not going as high, and we're tightening and tightening and we're coiling up. Usually there's a really violent reaction, or like a big movement that's sudden. And this could be, and I put this in Discord this morning, this could be a reverse Bart Simpson, in which case we could go sideways a little bit and then rocket up to get up to around about 58,000. We might fall short and only come up to 54,000, somewhere around there. So we've got two possibilities playing out. Now, I think, Kelly, you're right. I think this is the launching pad for the big parabolic run up, right? So now let's have a look. On this channel, you know that we look at astrology and we look at the moon phases as scenario trading. What scenarios outside of the price action can affect price action, and especially affect human psychology, because we're looking at human psychology. This price action represents human psychology. And we have been watching the full moon and the new moon. And if we go over to the daily now, this is an indicator you can get on TradingView. So if you're not subscribed to our channel, you get to learn all these amazing things. We would love your subscription. Click the bell and hit all so that you get notified of our tutorials we upload, and we go live every Wednesday. So we upload tutorial videos every day. And one of the tutorial videos we've been doing is the moon, where you come in to the built-ins and you look at moon phases, and you click moon phases, and you get that on your charts. New moon is usually when we get a trend reversal. We've been going up, we get to the top of that local movement in the price action, and then we get a reversal around the new moon. Sometimes it starts happening the day before, sometimes it happens right on new moon, or just a little bit after. And if you go over the new moon, which is at the top of the chart, every single time you will see that there has been some kind of a reversal to the downside. And the last new moon was an eclipse, and we got a big dump. If any of you watch the Bitcoin family, you would have seen me this morning on their channel going over that in the charts, and I want to dive deeper into it today. So if you've come over from the Bitcoin family, welcome. Love your subscription, love your like. Just hit that subscribe button. But let's go a little bit deeper, because full moon Friday, we have the full moon here on the bottom, and the full moon represents the bottom of the movement in that area, and we get the reversal. Again, sometimes it's the day before, which would be Thursday. Sometimes it's right on full moon, and sometimes it's a little bit after. And the reason for that, I think, depends on what else is going on astrologically as to which one that is. But we want to be very vigilant between now and Saturday, watching our trades, protecting our profits, knowing that we could be getting a bounce up any moment, which is why Teresa and I don't short at this time, right? Up where we've got new moon, because we know that we're going to get a dump, that's a good time to be thinking of doing a short. So we've got pumps. Now, they're not always big pumps all the way up. Sometimes they are little pumps and then we come back down again. But sometimes they are parabolic pumps. We got this, came up, went sideways a little bit, and then we scooched on up here to the, to the next point here. And then for this new moon here was a little bit of trading sideways, right? We didn't actually, we went up on the, just after the dip, but it was a really, we went up in price action on the full moon, like we hit bottom, but we came back up and came back down a little bit. So that is a possibility, but this is not a scenario that plays out that often. It's more often than not that we get a run up. So we want to be looking at what else can be telling us what's going to be happening with the direction. And that is when we look at the RSI for possible divergences, right? So we've got down here, when you're looking for bullish divergences, you want to look at the bottom of the RSI. And we want to see that we've gone sideways here, and then we've gone up. And so this looks like there isn't really a divergence on the daily anymore. There was one that's played out by the looks of it. Let's look at the 4 hourly. I'm not seeing one that is looking pretty good. And then I want to look for bearish divergences as well. And this is all looking like it's following price action. So then we go to the 1 hour where you want to go through the different time zones. And this looks like it's tracking quite nicely. You could call this a bullish divergence on the 1 hour. So this point here is ever so slightly. I mean, I think it's iffy as to whether we call that a bullish divergence, right? Where we've actually got the price action going slightly up. If we were to draw a line here to there, it's slightly up. And down here, it is slightly down. So that's possible. I mean, let's look at it from the point of view of we already have a bit of bullish momentum coming in, and we're going up to the top of this triangle. So the question is going to be, are we going to continue to go up today and burst out of this pattern to the upside, or will we come up and continue to coil down, right? That's the question over the next couple of days. We know Friday, we can expect some kind of upward momentum happening somewhere between Thursday, Friday, maybe Saturday morning. I'm sensing that when I'm looking at my trend indicators down here, I'm looking at this trend is starting to turn up. But the question is how far? So then the other one that we like to do is, on this channel, we like to look at Ichimoku Cloud, which covers a lot. So if we bring in our Ichimoku Cloud, the Ichimoku Cloud on the 1 hour is looking like we could get some kind of momentum to the upside. However, we're over red. And when we've got red ahead of us, because the Ichimoku Cloud throws out ahead of us where we might be going. And when it's red, it means we've got resistance to going up. Right, so there's pressure on the price action to go further down. When we've got green in front of us, we know we're heading to bullish territory. So we look for the green cloud on the 1 hour to appear, and it hasn't appeared yet. So that supports the idea that we might just travel sideways a little bit, getting into this tighter and tighter range for the next 24 hours. So let's have a look on the 4 hourly and see what we can see. And it's still, yeah, unfortunately, we're still in the red. So let's have a look at what's going on short term for those of you who are day traders and want to get a trade in. Generally speaking, you trade the range, right? If you're wanting to day trade. I just think we're so close to a move to that I probably would just sit this out and wait a bit, but normally you would put in a long at the support and ride it up to resistance and then get out in case we come back down if it's looking like we're hitting resistance and we're going to turn around and come back down again. On the 15-minute, we're still bearish. So then I go to the 5-minute. In the 5-minute, we're still bearish as well. So we still have the baseline above the conversion line on the Ichimoku Cloud, and this conversion line is still in resistance. So I think that really does support the story that for the next 24 hours, we could just trade sideways and not break out of this range until full moon. And we'll see if full moon saves us. My sense of it is that it will. My sense of it is that we're coming to the end of this downward price action and we're going to head higher. How high we go, that is going to be the question, right? So that's where we want to start bringing in our Fibonacci's. So let's go back to the 4 hour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Fibonacci levels here, swing low to swing high to swing low in this area that we have been trading in. So I'm going to take the Fibonacci level here, right there where we topped out, and I'm going to bring it to the swing low, there. And what we can see immediately, is that the 50%, which is actually not a Fibonacci level, it's just a line that we put in as a support line. Stefan's saying, full moon, come on, pump it, baby. Absolutely. We have, this is a very strong support. Look at this. We've touched it so many times just in this local area. Let me take of the price action that we've created a really nice support, right? So now the question is, if we hit it a few more times, will it weaken and break to the downside, which will give us that double bottom? I'm not expecting that we're going to go lower than this. If we do, I think we're all just going to have to go, oh, right? We're all going to have to go, oh my goodness. Because that's not good. I mean, we'll be trading under the 200-day moving average, which I can bring in for you now. If you want to see that, where are we? Daily, where's my dailies? I usually have it on my chart. I don't see, oh, here it is, hello, right at the top. See this red line here? This red line here is the 200-day moving average. So on the 4 hourly, it's getting a lot of support. If we end up coming down here and trading down here or even lower for a few days or even have a candle close below here, that is a very, very bearish sign for Bitcoin. But I'm not sensing that's what we're going to do, simply because we do have that bullish divergence there. And a flip to the upside looks more likely. And what we know on our channel, and we do say this a lot in the mornings in Discord, if I see these Barts, this is a Bart Simpson. When we travel along sideways a little too long for the pattern, right? Because if we were looking at this as a bull flag, it should have broken out at about here. As soon as a bull flag starts traveling sideways, that's an indication we could have a sudden dump back down to the beginning of where we started the Bart Simpson. In this case, we went even lower. Here's another one. This was a bear flag. We had a lot of people shorting here, right? Thinking, we're going to put shorts in here and we're going to go down, put shorts in. And what happened is we traveled beyond the time of the bear flag to create the reverse Bart Simpson. So quite a lot of people got liquidated here in their shorts. So this is a setup again for a Bart Simpson as well. So it's just watching, waiting, and getting ready to move, as Kelly said in the comments there. Set your alarms so that if we move up and we move down, you can act accordingly. Let's have a look at the targets here. Well, we don't know where this is going to break out if it breaks to the upside, but that is it's around 53k, right? 53,100, I think it was. Let's get a little bit more precise. Yeah, 53,184. Again, we don't know exactly, because if it breaks out here, it's going to go higher. If it breaks out down here, it'll be lower, right? We have the golden ratio here, which acts as a significant resistance to get there. Also, we have the golden ratio just above where the Bart Simpson is. So if we come down and we do a inverse Bart Simpson and we come back up, it's possible we could touch this golden ratio at 58,867 as well, reverse back down and then head back up again, could possibly reverse back down halfway or even reverse back down to 51,838 and head out. So that's the setup for Bitcoin. We're waiting to see which way we're going to go. We've got indicators on the chart that say that we're heading up, even though we're inside of a bearish pattern. But also look at this. This is also a descending wedge, and descending wedges break to the upside more often than they break to the downside, which is why I'm thinking that this triangle pattern, this descending triangle, may not play out, right? There's a little bit more bullishness in the chart than there is bearishness. So that's all I wanted to say for Bitcoin. Let's have a look at Ethereum, and let's go to the daily. I'm on the 4 hourly. I want to go to the daily so we can see if the moon is going to save Ethereum, right? So if we have a look at the patterns of the new moons, we get some dumps on the new moons quite consistently. Sometimes they're big dumps, sometimes they're little dumps. So it is going to depend. Here we dumped before the new moon. And then we got a really big one, obviously, last one. So Ethereum's pretty much following the same pattern. And then the full moons, this full moon here, we didn't start pumping till the day after the full moon, right? So full moon Friday, full moon at about 1 o'clock or 10 to 2 in the morning Eastern time, which is early morning for the Europeans and late night for Americans, and the early evenings for those of you down under. So for Ethereum, we're in this descending channel, which is a bullish pattern, which means that when we break out, we can go to the upside there, and that would take us back up to 47,888 as the first move. And then we've got, let's have a look. That's the 4 hourly. We wanted to go to, sorry, that's the daily. We wanted to look at our divergences, and you can see that we actually have a pretty big bullish divergence. We've got a higher low, several higher lows on the chart here for the RSI, but we have, it comes to there, we have lower lows here, right? And well, let's draw it to there. So that's still a, oopsie, that's still a lower low. So that is on the daily. So daily divergences play out within a day or two. So that's consistent with a bullish uptrend for the new moon, because in a day or two, we're going to see that, right? So now, could we see that bullish divergence play out earlier? We want to go to the 4 hour. And you can see there was a little bear flag here that's obviously played out. So if we're sorry about my WhatsApps going crazy. We have a bullish divergence on the 4 hour as well. Take a look at this. We've got a low and then we've got a high. And here we've got a, oops, no, sorry. What am I saying? I'm doing my dyslexic thing again. Hang on a second. No, so that's not a bullish divergence. That's not going to save us. Let's have a look on the 1 hour. The divergences are a bit tricky because sometimes you've got to wait for these the movement to finish the hour to know where it's actually going to go. Yeah, this is really, really tricky. Let's have a look at this. Oopsie, this might be a minute one on the 1 hour, similar to Bitcoin. See this wick here, and then we actually went lower. So we created a lower low here, right? We've got the wick here, and then there's a lower low. On the price action on this wick, we have a higher low. Okay, so that's a bullish divergence. We've also got to bounce off the trend line up down the bottom here on my indicator, which means the trend is heading back up again. What is your opinion on drawing your lines on the candle bodies or the wicks? Really good question. I do them on the wicks, but I observe the candles. Only because in crypto, traditionally in the stock market, mostly you pay attention to the candles because that's the solid trading, and the wicks can just be anomalies or manipulation. But the crypto market is very heavily manipulated, so I pay attention to the wicks, especially because in the past we have had double bottoms and we have had patterns play out that were following the wicks. So it's good to do both, right? Just observe it. And not get married to either, and that way you cover your ground. So if you are looking at getting into a long here for Ethereum, again, it's like this bottom here is a support level that we bounced off of, and that's usually when you put in a long. So you could market order in and come up if you're prepared to take the risk. The reason I wouldn't do it, I'm already in a long anyway from lower down. The reason I wouldn't do it though is because we're creating lower highs and we're sandwiching in. So again, within the next 24 hours, we could trade sideways and sandwich in, getting tighter and tighter, getting ready for a bigger event. And you don't want to be in a long paying fees when we're going sideways. You want to trade the breakout. So the trade would be either, breaking this descending line inside of the descending wedge, because we know that it would, if we break out, right, this is the way to do it. We break out, come back, reconfirm the previous resistance and support, break out, enter just above there. That's a conservative way to enter, rather than entering the breakout, which could actually end in rolling over, right? This way you wait, you check volume to see is there enough volume to push the price away from the support line up to the target, and then you're in. So if we come back down into the 4 hour, that would take us to around about 39,060, depending again on when we touch it. Now, once we get here, the question is going to be, are we going to continue to break this pattern and go to the upside? In which case, when you've got a descending channel, you break it, come back down to retest resistance and support, come up, volume into the long somewhere here, and then the target is going to be see out the way, the target is going to be the top where the first candle touches the beginning of the pattern, which is sitting at around 4786. So that is that for Ethereum. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks, Kelly. If you're new to the channel, we're uploading technical analysis tutorials on a daily basis. So we love you to like us just for that reason, but you can subscribe, hit the bell and click all to be notified when we do that, as well as notified when we go long. So I think that bottom line is, in answer to the question, is the full moon going to save us? I'm leaning towards yes, only because every single time we've had a full moon for Ethereum or Bitcoin, we've seen a trend reversal, and we're already seeing signs in the market that a trend reversal is happening, right? We're moving towards that. We had a hammer here. See this big long wick here on the daily? This was a hammer. A hammer is signifying trend reversal is imminent, and we haven't gone lower than that Wicks since. We have a very, very clear, 35.60 is where it bottomed out at. We have a really clear. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's right. The Feds announce, thanks for that, Daniel. The Feds announce in the next hour or two if rates will rise. So that is a possibility that would affect the stock market, and therefore the stock market could affect the what do you call it? The crypto market, in which case you're going to want to have, you're going to want to have this chart up, watching what's going on for the stock market. Oh, I don't have the S&P 500 here. Let's just do the US. What's going on? Yeah, see, look, even in the stock market, we're seeing that, the full moon and the new moon are playing out quite nicely. But if we're looking at the US 30, what have we got here? We've got a potential, that could be a potential symmetrical triangle, or it could get elongated and go here, in which case if it dumps, it's going to dump down to 34360 points maybe. And this is a continuation pattern. We've come into it from the upside. So the stock market is looking like it may get a small correction and move up. That's where we're at right now. What's going to happen with the Fed's announcement is going to be interesting. Remember, that's only going to affect the American stock market unless it's followed up by other stock markets around the world, in which case if we do dump, it might be a, let's see, we hit the support line here, that is a 3.29% dump, which is actually pretty significant. So let's have a look at where that would take us here on Bitcoin. That would take us to a fake out on this pattern to the downside, right? It's possible that it could be good news, right? And then we break up as well. So I don't think that we're any further ahead with that until we actually know what that announcement is and we know what the stock market is going to do in a reaction to it. So that is that. Kelly, Tucker Carlson, over 4 million viewers. Yes, I know who Tucker Carlson is. Put out some amazing news about the demise of the dollar and the sign of crypto. Definitely worth watching. He's a real straight shooter. Okay. Huge mainstream media push in a positive direction for crypto. Totally. Here's what's happened. Here's what happens when the stock market does a wobble or it does a dump. Bitcoin usually follows, not always, but it usually follows, and it can often reverse faster. So we've got a lot of things going for us in the crypto market. So when we're trading, like, let's talk a bit about mindset. When we're trading, knowing that the news could be bullish or bearish, this is where we wait it out. You don't enter into a trade until the price reaction happens, and you trade the reaction to the upside if it's positive, to the downside if it's negative, right? And here's the deal. If we do break to the downside for Bitcoin and we come down and we fulfill this pattern, it's not the end of the world. It means we've broken to the downside of a pattern that's usually bullish. Usually this descending channel breaks to the upside, but it's inside of a bearish pattern. That happens a lot in crypto where you've got contradictory patterns. It wouldn't be the end of the world because we would be creating a double bottom, and a double bottom often sees a massive rally afterwards. What it does mean though, is if you've got longs in, you need to make sure that your liquidation point, is down at around 36,000 or, even lower, just in case we do actually go lower and we create a lower low. And if we were to go lower, where would that be? Where could we go to? So if we take the all-time, if we start where we finished in the last Fibonacci, and we take it to the top of the candle where we actually started dropping, which is at this nice support line here. We've got a lot of support up here. And then we look for the second golden ratio, which would be, which would be down here at 29,168. I'm not thinking we're going to go that low because we have a tremendous amount of support at the 47,000 line. And then the next support level that we have is around 44,000. And then the next support level we have is around 42,000. And then again at 40,082. So I'm not thinking we're going to create a lower low here. I'm thinking more if we go lower, we're going to create a double bottom and go up. But I could be wrong, right? We need to be aware of both. The mindset is sit it out if you're not in a trade right now and trade the reaction. And then if you are in a trade right now, you want to have a look at your leverage. You might need to lower your leverage because your liquidation point is below where we could drop and, put a stop loss in if you want to put a stop loss in. Or what we do, we trade cheeky buy orders. So we trade the ranges. We have cheeky buy orders in at the structural support levels so that when we get those big retracements, we collapse down the entrance of our trade and we get in at a much lower rate. And that's a really good trading strategy we teach in Crypto Ninjas. That is really good for this volatile market. And those cheeky buy orders, as I said, go in every day for those of you who are in Ninjas. In the Discord channel, and the price of Ninjas is doubling in the new year, simply because I've put in a whole year's worth of training, which will probably take you a year to go through. And I still put new training videos up every month so that you're always going to be learning more and more advanced. It takes you from very beginning all the way to advanced. So you just plug in where you're at and you get tremendous value at that level. And that is at tradingcryptoninjas.com. Link is in the chat. It's also at the top of the description as well. So I think that Candace, I don't know what you're asking. You've just put in VAWR.tech. I'm not quite sure what that means. I need food to clean my lungs big time. Yeah, breathe, keep breathing. So that's that. I mean, if we do have a volatile move on Friday, I might come in live and watch the full moon or do a video afterwards because it's going to happen in our time frame, and then we will watch this with bated breath. But let us be putting positive vibes into the market and see that we are going to get that bullish divergence play out to the upside within the next 48 hours. Oh, Da Vinci J15 says we are being hammered down. I would agree with that. You can actually see that there's a lot of resistance. But here's the deal. Whenever there's price manipulation, right, and we get hammered down, as Da Vinci says, it gets to the point where it gets so tight that Bitcoin and Ethereum particularly just go, I've got to get out of my straitjacket, and the move to the upside is often more explosive. So that is that for today. And I will see you real soon. As I said, I might do something on Friday or Saturday as the full moon goes, if it does look like it's an explosive mood, so we can look at where the trades are and what the targets are. If you want day-to-day technical analysis, you can join our Discord server at Conscious Crypto. If you just go into Discord, type in the search bar Conscious Crypto, you will find us. This is us here, Conscious Crypto, and you'll see these are the channels here. Start here, say hi, crypto, technical analysis on Bitcoin goes in daily. So we're following what's going on daily. If I'm trading during the day, it's moment by moment. And then obviously joining Ninjas if you want a little bit more advanced training and daily TA on a number of coins other than just Bitcoin. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us. And until we meet again, trade consciously, meaning trade conscious of what is going on in the world, what is going on in the price action, what is going on in numerology, astrology, so that you can lock down the trades that you're in and protect your capital and be ready for the trades that are going to create that extra special wealth for you. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.